Hello, hello. Welcome to Notary Educators with Kimmi and Jeffrey.
Hey, everybody.
Jeffrey, we will let you introduce yourself and then I'll introduce myself and we'll get started. We just want to say hey to all those who may be listening to the replay and those watching the replay and listening to the podcast. Hey, Lori W. What's up? What's up? Okay, Jeffrey.
Hey, this is Jeff with one of the trainers of Notary Educators, and good to have you here this Monday evening.
Hey guys, so we're going to hop right into it because we have a lot of information. Tonight we are talking about how to add translation services to your business. How many of you, hey Sharon, Andrea, what's up, girly? Hey Rich John, Elbane, how you guys doing? Are you all doing translation services already? Put a 1 if you are, put a 0 if you don't know what it is, and if you are not doing it. Translation services. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. Translation, because there's several ways to do translation services. I'm going to go over them with you, and I'll tell you my favorite. Okay. I'll tell you my favorite. All right, let's hop right into it. So what is translation services? Okay, most of you are not doing it. Okay, but you should be. Let me cut the air, make it a little bit cooler. It is hot where I'm at. I don't know about where you guys are, but it is roasting. Sharon says she's doing great. She's waiting on her certificate. She's a newbie. Welcome. You're in the right place. So let's talk about translation services. Translation services is just that. You are offering something to be translated. Jeffrey will cover the documents shortly, what type of documents, but what happens is your clients will speak another language or need a document translated, and they'll call you as the notary, even though I do happen to speak 2 languages. I do. Not perfectly the second one, not perfectly the first one, but Spanish is my second practice language, we'll say. Okay. So anyway, that being the case, I do speak a little bit. So let's talk about, again, what it is first. So someone will call me or call you once you put this on your Google page or however you're going to be advertising. And they're like, hey, I need to get a document translated. Jeffrey will go over the typical documents, but they'll call you and say, I need to get a document translated. And they don't know the process. They're not interested in learning the process. It's similar to apostilles. It's similar to that. They don't want nothing to do with it, but they want you to do it, and they know that you are the expert, okay? Or I want you to be anyway. So I happen to fall into it. Angela, our other trainer, was already doing translations, and Alexis, our other trainer, Angela's not with us anymore as a trainer, but she started and Alexis started doing translation services, and I was like, what is that? What does it look like? So anyway, I did a couple. Fell in love with it. I wrote a course about it, and there is a course. We'll talk about that later. And I do translation services. So I've done something for Japan. Most of my translations are the Spanish language to English. Okay. Most of them is Spanish to English. So someone, our German or Japan, no, it was from Germany, right? He brought the car over there and had to get it titled over here in the United States, is what the situation was.
Yeah,
okay?
that's correct.
Yeah. So I helped him with that, and they sent it to the company. They sent it back to me. So that's basically what translation services consist of, or what the actual need is. Someone needs something translated. It could even be words. Someone could need you to have a language conversation. The whole conversation need to be translated. You could facilitate that also. Now, I've not facilitated one of those professionally, but of course I've done so many as a friend to someone. Okay, so let's talk about, now we know what it is. Let's talk about the 3 different ways that you can offer translation services, and then Jeffrey will cover what documents are commonly needed. Okay, so the 3 different ways you can do it is, 1, you could be the translator yourself. If you are fluent in another language, you can translate the documents. Okay, you can translate it if you are fluent yourself. The person will give you the document, you would translate it, give it back to them, charge a fee. Just as simple as that. The second way would be, there are companies that are paying you just to send them a referral. Give you 5 cents, $2, whatever. And I've been hearing about this. Now, I don't know any off the top of my head, but I have been hearing about this as a thing. They will pay you to send the translation to them, and then you're out of it. You still have to do the work and give it back to your client. You could charge a small fee. So I think their services probably cost more if they're able to pay you a referral. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. So that might mean your client is paying more, which might mean you might have less business. I don't know. Again, the whole process. Okay. The third way is what I do and what Jeffrey do. We facilitate the translation. So back to our original scenario. Someone would call us, email us, whatever method. Hey, I need a document translated. What's your fee? So they don't know the whole process. I don't go into that with them. I ask them a basic question. You always have to ask your clients questions, because questions equal money. Questions equal money. So you always have to ask a few questions. My main question I want to know when it comes to translation services is, what's your turnaround time? Okay. What's the turnaround time? When do they need to get this document back? So that's something that we want to ask them. Okay. Because if they say, well, I need it back tomorrow, that's going to affect the cost. That's going to affect, everything, actually, because my typical turnaround time is going to be at least 2 to 3 days. Okay. At least 2 to 3. Now, the companies that I use, they will do a rush, So I'll give you a couple of those because I know you're going to ask. My number one I use is Spanish. What is it, Jeff? Spanish group. The Spanish group. Is it Spanish group?
Spanish group. Yeah, Spanish group.
Yeah, I typically use them. There's another one called Rush Translate. So you can use either of those. Hey, Lynette, Lisa, what's going on? Welcome. So those are my two favorite. One does cost more than the other. One, just so we can talk about fees right quick, and I'll let Jeffrey tell you about the documents. Some places charge you per word. Some charge you per page. Hey, Jasmine. So there's going to be different ways that different companies charge. Some charge after 500 words. So when it comes to pricing my services, that's why I typically tend to use the same company. I know what they charge, which is a Spanish group. But if I'm going to use the other one, I'll let the client know, hey, it's based on how many words. Let me get you a quote. And typically they know, you have to get a quote probably. So you got to be really careful. But I kind of know, like I said, when I use Spanish group, what their fees are. And they typically charge $25 per page. And then I'll just add something on top of that. My fee on top of that is going to be depending on how many pages it is. Okay. How many pages? Because I'm not going to charge them. And so the company charges $25 per page. I'm not going to probably charge them $25 per page, and they have 50 documents or 20 documents. It's all relative. So we got to really ask those screening questions. Okay. Very good. Jeffrey, what type of documents are typically asked to be translated, or do they need help with?
Typically, it'll be birth certificates, death certificates, marriage or divorce decrees. Those are some of the documents that people will need to get translated from one language to the other. Now, with that being said, you want to be careful. Well, shouldn't be careful. You want to be aware that you're sending that document to whether it's Spanish group or whatever company that you've chosen, and they're going to translate it for you from that language to English or vice versa. But in particular, if it's going to be in English, whatever it is, you want to double check whatever the original is to make sure that it matches. Some of the details that say a date, 6/18/2000 something, you want to make sure that those dates match up. The numbers, different numbers in each of the. Let's say you got a birth certificate, and you got the different fields on the document, because what they're going to do is they're going to recreate what that document is, but just in the language that you're choosing. But you want to make sure that that document, all the details, that it matches up. Because sometimes we've gotten it where everything looks good. You kind of scan the first few fields and you get down, you say, oh, wait a minute, that field is off. However they got it, how whatever they used to change the languages, I don't know. But the key is that you want to be mindful. So those are some of the main things that you need to get translated. Mm-hmm.
Can you recap the documents again for us one more time?
It would be the birth and death certificates, and also the marriage or divorce decrees. Those are some of the common documents that need to get translated. On the other hand, like you mentioned before, when we did the document, someone was bringing a, uh, it was something for the DMV. It was dealing with the car, but it was like his registration. Let's say if it was in the Philippines, and he was trying to get it registered here in the United States. They had to translate everything over there. But those are some of the kind of the documents that um, are more of the your main hitters.
Yeah, so I always say stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So we do have a complete translation course. You can purchase that 60% off. Coupon code is WIN 2025. Again, WIN 2025 is the coupon code. 60% off the translation course. Or if you would like to be a part of our mentorship program, the Notary Business Success, it's included in that program along with 15 other courses, everything you need to start your notary business and to grow it. Okay. So we are going to get these questions and comments here. So if you have anything, go ahead and drop it. Please, I know we got a few newbies here and a lot of people here from the mentor program. Welcome, welcome, and former members. So let's see what we got here. We got that. We said hi to Jasmine, I think. I don't know. We said hi to Lisa. Jasmine M., have you heard of conch translation? I have not. I have not heard of them. I have not. Lori, like and subscribe. Thank you, Lori. Appreciate it. Tyra, hi Tyra, welcome. Yes, this is a live. This live will be here on the channel. Yep, it's not going anywhere. And I actually have about maybe 3 more on translation services. Yep. So this will be here. Okay. And Tyra saying, hey, okay. So what questions do you all have? While I wait for you, I will go over a couple of questions that I recently received in the YouTube channel chat here. Oh, piggybacking really quick off of what Jeff said earlier about checking your translation. So you may not speak another language, but check those numbers sometimes. Just make sure the numbers are correct. And another good habit to get into is letting your client double check the work before you say, okay. Okay, you really want to do that because what Jeffrey was mentioning earlier is we had a translation and one block was wrong. The whole set of numbers. I don't know what they were typing. I tried to look at the keyboard and see that they just happened to transpose something. I don't know what happened. Period. But it was wrong. And fortunately, we're able to get on top of it ASAP because somebody was coming to pick up that translation for them. So again, you don't have to necessarily speak another language. Put that responsibility back on the client to make sure it's correct before you sign off on it. Because I did have another one that went wrong. Out of all the ones we did, we had 2 that had a mistake. Don't know that it's the same company. I really can't tell you that because I don't remember. But the second one, we caught that one also, and they gave us a discount off of it. This one I didn't push back because they got it fixed in like a half hour before my client could arrive, so it didn't cause any kind of delay in customer service. But if I got a problem, they're gonna have a problem because my service has to be on point. All right, let's see. We got Sharon, and I'm gonna pull up this YouTube chat too. Okay. Sharon says, what would be the first step after getting the certificate? When should I get the stamp in the journal? Sharon. Pump the brakes. Do not buy anything else. Have you had your training yet? Let's talk about that. Have you had any kind of training, Sharon, to know how to properly be a notary? What duties you have? What is expected of you? And I'll tell you why this is important too. We did an apostille today. You've had training. Okay. Are you in the program, Sharon? I don't know why your name is looking familiar to me. I'm sorry. Tell me if you're in the program or not. And if you've had training and you're comfortable, you should buy your supplies ASAP. Are you in the mentorship program? I just don't recall. I'm sorry. Because a lot of times some people sign up, but they don't come to sessions and stuff like that. So everybody works the program the way they want to. Some prefer, yes, at my school. Oh, okay. Okay. You learned at your school. Okay. Um, your school taught you how to be a notary. Is that what you're saying, Sharon? Because it's a difference between a work notary and doing it as a business. I'm just trying to get a little clarity there. And if you feel comfortable with your notarial duties, go for it and buy your supplies. But I always tell people to make sure we know what we're doing before we start going to buy stuff. Oh, your school taught you. Okay, so yeah, you probably are what we call a work notary then. So it's the difference between a work notary and then what we do as a business owner. It really is. And I'll give you another example. Today we did an apostille. I looked at the document that the other notary notarized. Didn't have any notarial wording on it. She just stamped it and it dated it. So I called the apostille office. They were like, I said, is this acceptable? Because what I teach and what it should be is two different things. And what people actually doing out there. And even what the state allows. Okay. So she didn't have any notarial wording. He said, that's fine. He said, as long as she stamped it and she dated it. So she did that, took it down there. They apostilled it. My client was happy. I was happy. Jeff was happy. Everybody was happy. So, but that's not what we teach. And that's really not the correct way to do a notarization. It's just not. But again, the state said it was okay. So let's go for it. That's why a lot of times people are like, well, how can you teach all 50 states? Because the principles don't change. But what should be happening is how we teach you. Now, you can do whatever you want to do because it's your notary business, right? But Sharon, so now that you said that you're comfortable, though, I recommend you go ahead and get your supplies and get going. I really would.
And also make sure you get your state handbook as well if you have not gotten that already.
Yeah, but most people can't learn to be a notary from their handbook. So try it your way, Sharon. If you feel confident in everything, if it doesn't work out for some reason, you know where we are. Okay. We've been here. I always say, God willing, we're going to be here. Okay. So you can put your comments here in the chat. And while we wait on you, I will answer a few from YouTube. Okay. So one of the questions that we had was from someone that's in the state of Georgia. Oh, you're welcome. And they said that they were excited to learn about the notary business, but then they realized, I'm in Georgia, so that means I can't be a notary signing agent. And I told them, and I typed just a little bit of it here, but I'll address it here for my other people that happen to be from the state of Georgia or wherever you're from. Or whatever you're doing in life. Just because somebody tells you no, you need to get the facts and find out, is it really so? Okay. So she read one sentence in the handbook, but if you know how to play the game, in a sense, we'll just say it like that. If you know what you know, then you know, right? If you don't know. So that's why I told her to check out my book. I break it down for people that are in Georgia, exactly step by step, what to do to start a business. And you might even check this out too, Sharon, because again, your school probably may have taught you something about notarization, but if you really want to know how to do this as a business, whatever state you are in, I have these books that I wrote for each state. Okay. This happens to be for New York, South Carolina, who is this? California and Virginia, but every state has their own book, all 50. So let me say it again because people often ask me, do you have one for my state? All 50 states have a book, all 50. I just happen to have these 4 here, okay? There is one for Nevada, and we actually have a couple of Nevada people in our group. And actually, Jasmine here on the live, she's in Nevada. I hope she doesn't mind me sharing that. So anyway, there's a book for Nevada too. So start there to actually grow and start your business. It takes you step by step. So for my young person in Georgia, though, like I was telling her, step by step, that book will take her how to start the business. And you can become a signing agent. We just don't use the title. Georgia doesn't recognize the title, but we do loan documents all day long. Jeffrey, what type of loan documents? Can you recall some off the top of your head that we process?
I mean, yeah, we've done loan modifications. We do loan modifications on a regular basis. We're connected with different signing companies that if they could not be done in Georgia, we wouldn't get those assignments. We also have
buyer's package, seller's package.
Yeah, buyer's package, seller's package. particularly during the pandemic. We were printing left and right, doing packages 100 pages, 150 pages, depending on the job. Now, what in Georgia, when it's as far as there are certain forms, and I forgot what the forms are. Kim can break down the forms, but there are certain forms that a lawyer has to discuss in Georgia with the homeowner. So we're at the person's home, for example, to do a seller's package or a buyer's package, and you got the 100 pages out. And what would happen, particularly during the pandemic, and it can happen now, but more so during the pandemic because the lawyers were not going out, the notaries were going to the homes, and you would reach out to the lawyer, or they would reach out to you and say, "Hi, Mr. Lawyer, you're assigned as a notary to go stamp the papers for Mr. Williams at 1 o'clock. Here's my phone number. You can call me when you get there." And you would call the lawyer, and either they would explain, we would pull, and they, depending on how it worked, depending on the lawyer, they would say, "Okay, pull out form this, form A, form B, form C, put that to the side, and I'll discuss that. I'll go over that with them, with the client." And they're not there now. They're not there. They're just on the phone. They're wherever they're at. They explain what the forms are, and they ask the homeowner, "Do you have any other questions?" That's just one scenario. They say no, and we go on to continue on with the signing all the different pages. On the other hand, sometimes some lawyers will stay on the call during the whole signing. So the point is that signings can take place in Georgia, but there are certain forms that the lawyer by law has to discuss or go over with them, and not you as the notary.
Yeah, so each attorney is different. Like Jeffrey said, we have a few that they'll say, you know what, just call me when it's done. After they explain the documents that they have to explain. Or there are others that will stay on during the whole time. And it's so funny. Most of our clients, they'll say, that's the quickest money that he'll make today. Because we're the ones doing most of the work. But it's
What's the
still,
do you remember? I mean, you remember by chance, Kimmy, what the those different forms, the lawyers what
I'll just give one because it's just too many for us to go over tonight. It will take up all the time. But one for sure is if the home is located in an HOA community, is one form. I'll give you two. If it's in a flood zone, and again, each state is going to be different. Each package is going to be different. But if a property is located in the state of Georgia, there you have to always double check. Do I need an attorney for this or do I not? And your main products that you will need an attorney for, one of them is the refinance. Or refinance where the house is in the state of Georgia will need an attorney. If you need an attorney, I'll cover this last piece. It will be provided to you by the signing company. You don't have to go out and look for a attorney. Okay. You don't have to go out and look for an attorney. The signing company already paid them and they got to pay you. They already know that. This is not new for them. Okay. All right. Very good. So
we got
Nicole, hey
Nicole
Nicole.
Waterford. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nicole says, "Hey Kimmy and Jeff. I'm new to the community and I'm glad I found you. Welcome, Nicole. What state are you in?" Cleveland, Ohio. Okay, yep. Ohio. Very good. I don't think we have anyone in Ohio in the group right now, but we've had Ohio students and she's doing very well actually. She was with us before we even started mentorship. She was with us when we did group training because we used to do a lot of group training. But now our whole focus at Notary Educators is the mentorship program because I think you just need everything. We would do the crash course trainings and they worked. I mean, many people started their businesses and they did amazing actually. And some people like to buy the courses. That's why we still sell them individually, thanks to Jeffrey. Because I was like, well, let's just do everything mentorship. But he was like, no, people want to buy the courses. So you got two ways you can learn with us is the whole gamut, all the courses, or either you can just a whole kit and caboodle, or you can just pick what you want a la carte. 60% off. Coupon code is WIN2025. And then the mentorship is $47 per month, all inclusive. So let's talk about the mentorship right quick, and I'll get a couple more questions out this YouTube while we wait for you to drop your live questions, okay? So the mentorship program is 16 courses. because yes, it covers field inspection, ink fingerprinting, apostille, how to properly notarize, estate training, estate package training, trust. It covers literally everything you need, proctoring, everything. How to go into hospitals, how to go into jails. Everything that we have is in the program. $47 per month. We meet weekly. Tomorrow night session is about how to properly counter offer. We're going to go over that because a lot of times we hear people say, well, it's a lowball offer. Join us for mentorship tomorrow. We would be discussing how to properly counter offer. If you miss it, you can catch the replay. One thing about joining now is you have access to all of the replays from when we started last year, and you can join it at your leisure. You don't have to wait till the next month. Whenever you start, you click pay for your mentorship. You can start watching the courses and everything right away. Okay. Jeff, you want to get let's see, Sharon cracking up. You want to get the next few comments, and then I'll come back to the YouTube since we do have some comments here.
Yeah, we got Nicole said that she's going to be moving out to Nevada and wanted to connect with Jasmine and Sharon.
Cool.
And then we have is it Shanatha Jones?
Shanatha?
Yeah, maybe Shanatha. That's a nice name. And she says, I'm new to the community. Glad I finally have the opportunity to be in the live group. And that's good that you're here. And welcome to the group. The idea of the live sessions and also the chat is so that everybody can help each other by putting your comments, things that's happening with you. You will be helping someone else without knowing it, but that's the whole point. Everybody's receiving help at the same time.
I think she's talking about this live here on YouTube, Jeff.
Well, that too. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, but also if she's connected, I don't know if you signed up for the mentorship, Sanatha, then you'll be able to see what we're talking about. So we have also Nicole. She says, but I found I also needed more detailed training after I got my commission. I will be joining mentorship. Yes. That is you. Depending on where you're at, you get your commission and you walk out and you're considered a notary. You walk out and you get, you may not even have a stamp yet, but you're a notary, but you don't know what you're doing. You don't have the training. So that's why you want to make sure that you get that mentorship so that you can be helped, so that when you go out and stamp a paper for a client, that it's helping that it's done correctly. Because that piece of paper needs to be done correctly to move from one point A to point B for that person. Maybe it's a power of attorney. It could be a basic something for the DMV. It could be something. It could be a will. There's all different sorts of documents that need to be notarized. And if it's not done right now, you've held up the process. So yes, mentorship is extremely important. Kimmi, yes,
yeah. Let's see here. Let's see who's next. Shay. Oh, she goes by Shay. Okay. They talking about Nicole, asking Nicole, is she in the chat? She's thinking about it. She says not yet, but soon. Now, let's see. Okay, that's it. That's it for now. So what I will do is I will put in the chat the link for our live. If you want to come up and talk for about 5 minutes, you can. You have to have your camera on if you want to get some one-on-one assistance live. I just dropped the link in the chat. So if you want to join us, you have to have your camera on, and we'll answer. We can talk to you about 5 minutes, see what's going on with you if you like, live. And in the meantime, if anyone wants to take us up on that, until then, I'll come back to my questions over here on YouTube really quick. Hold on. Oh, so we get this one a lot, guys. There's also a podcast. Notary Educators has a podcast. So a lot of times people will put in the comment and they say, I can't see you. I can't see you. You know what the podcast is? You can only listen. Okay, so we get that often. This is live. We are here. Look, booga, looga, looga, looga. We are live in the flesh. But if you're watching the replay sometimes or listening, we have a podcast also. And the blog is out. It's been out since January. I don't talk a lot about the blog, but the blog is out. The link again here, if anybody wanted to join us live on stage and talk about your business, is there. Yeah, yeah, we actually have a blog. So if you like to read, you can read about past shows that we've had here and notary topics. So all things notary, check out notaryeducatorsllc.com. And the last thing I was going to show you product wise tonight, just because some of you are so new with us, is our journal collection. I don't have all of them here, but let me see. This is everyone's favorite between this and the purple. It's a dog and cat on the front. They are so cute. Can you see it, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I can see it good.
Yes. Okay, my lighting is kind of, this is everyone's, so that's the dog and cat. Then we have the purple. This is everyone's favorite. This one comes in orange, and there's a pink similar, okay? And then we have the other pink, kind of purpley. I like this one too. And our journal is really nice, if I have to say so myself. We got the marble and then the cards for the guys. So there's 15 different ones you can choose from. So everything is at notaryeducatorsllc.com. And take your time and play around with the website. Okay, looks like Nicole is trying to come up. Take your time and play around with the website because it's pretty clear. It's laid out pretty well. So sometimes I think we're not taking our time to read because I'll get a text message. Where is this at? Where is that at? So just kind of take your time and play around. We got Nicole in the house. Let's see what Nicole's talking about tonight. Hey, Nicole, how are you? Uh-oh. We can see you, but we can't hear you.
She froze.
Are you frozen?
Ew.
She came on with the biggest smile. You're frozen, Nicole. Uh-oh. We might have to let her come back in.
How let's remove and let's see if she can come back in.
I was scared to remove her. I didn't want her to get blocked.
Okay. No, well I don't think she wanted to froze with.
Yeah, not with that face, right? Because her face, you know how it does when you freeze. I remember them Zoom days. Freeze. So we'll wait on Nicole to come back. I'm interested in talking with her.
Okay. Let's see. She's trying to come back. Let's see what happens. Let's try it again. You ready?
Yeah. She's trying. So this is great. I missed live. So we went live, Jeffrey and I, last week because we've been focusing so much on mentorship, guys. I'll be honest with you. People are getting their first assignments over there, first apostilles. I mean, it's so many amazing things happening. We're going to start highlighting more too. I tease my people. I often say some of them walk in silence because everybody's not big on social media. Everybody's not big on sharing their wins. And I have to do that with our group. Our group is doing some amazing things. Jasmine says, I don't see anything as black when she came on. Yeah, she was up there, but she froze. So we got to get her back on here, Jasmine. I'm going to see, can I start getting some of the members to actually come on and talk about what's going on, pull the blinds up on the program, because there's some amazing things happening over in Notary Educators. I'm really proud of everybody, and everybody's moving at different paces. People work full time. People have children, sick spouses. Some of our members are sick. Nicole, try again. Here, let me put the link for you. Because now we want to meet you. I saw that big old smile. I said, that smile need to be on a business card. I just put it back in there. So, yeah, we're very, very proud. So we meet every week. You can look at the schedule. Well, this is our last meeting this week. So July schedule is not up. But July, we're going to focus again on loan signings. We're going to focus again on loan signings. Do's and don'ts, how to actually do one, a mock signing. Yeah, we're going to work on that a little bit more. Oh, you're welcome, Elbane. Let's see. It looks like my internet is unstable. Oh, phooey. Okay, well, we'll have to get you another time, okay? Did anybody else want to join us? We got about another 5-10 minutes. Anyone else want to come up, get some real live help with your business? Okay, if not, let's go back to my questions here. So I had somebody say they would like to learn how to do trust work. And the best way to do that is going to be our estate/trust training. You do not need to have any kind of certification to facilitate a trust signing or estate signing. You just need to know how to properly notarize documents. Okay. We got another one here. It says your channel is the bomb. We thank you very much. Somebody was looking for the specialty journal. So I did have another journal prior to the one I just showed you. And that one is still available on Amazon. It's a specialty journal. I just don't have it on the website anymore because this one journal covers everything. Oh, Nicole is back. Now Jeffrey's gone. What happened? Hey,
Okay.
Nicole.
Hey, can
How
you
you
see me and hear me?
doing? We can
Can you hear
see
me
you. We
okay?
can hear you and everything. Now, I don't know what happened to Jeffrey. How's it going?
Good, good, good. Now, it kept saying my internet was unstable, so I'm like, okay, let me try to move around the house to
Oh,
figure it out.
great. Well, I'm glad you did. Let's chat it up. Tell me a little bit about you and your business.
Okay, so I have had my commission for 6 years now, and I am also an educator. I have a master's degree in education, and I did corporate training and development. Woke up one day in my 50s thinking I'm unhappy, and I need to figure out what I'm going to do with the second half of my life.
Very good. Very
and,
good. So
and
education is in your blood?
it is. And I had been in mortgage banking, on and off for a few years. I had been a broker, and then, of course, the economy crashed and got real ugly. And then I went to work on the other side of the business where banks were our clients, and we did a lot with their foreclosed property. So I did have some kind of banking background, thinking, you know what, I'm going to do loan signing in this time after you know, after the pandemic has started.
How did you find out about loan signing?
Well, again, I had been a mortgage broker before, so I knew what it was. I just had never done it.
I worked at the bank for 20 years and I never knew that the role existed. Because most of our closings were done at the bank. So I never knew. Oh, you froze on me. Oh, we're having such a good conversation. Walk around the house, Nicole. While you're doing that, I'm gonna get a couple comments. Okay, she's moving around. So El Bain says, "Thank you, Kimmi, Jeff, and Alexis. The course is great and thorough. Thank you. We appreciate that." Inspired Change with Cheryl says, "I'm still going through the training, so I'm still learning. I'm enjoying the process." Inspired Change with Cheryl. I'm so happy you said that because it does take time in order to hold on for me, Nicole. It does take time to go through the training. And when you take your time, that's when you're best going to be able to capture all the information and grasp it. Okay. We got Texas in the house and Lynette. So let's go back to Nicole right quick.
Yeah.
I'll be back with you, Lynette. Hey, Nicole. So, like you were saying, you knew about loan signings from your banking experience. I never knew about it. And I worked at the bank also for 20 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I found out about it during COVID, or actually in 2019, right before COVID. My sister was ill, and somebody was like, "Hey," I asked her what she was doing for work. She was like, "I'm a notary." Well, that's good. So, what do you want to do with the business? Full time, part time? What's your goals?
So I am full time in my business. However, I've been doing Uber for the past 6 years as well. And I'm like, I'm ready to stop. And I'm like, okay, I did not quit my job as a corporate trainer to do Uber for the rest of my life. This was why I quit my job, was to figure out something else. And I did figure out that this was it. So now it's like developing the business. So I'm still a newbie, which is what I found out. Something that you and Mr. Jeff said was so profound, that we get this commission with our states and they don't really provide any real training. Yeah, they mention some things in your handbook that you need to know, but generally you go out here, you don't even know how to notarize a car title. You don't know
No,
any of that stuff, and you needed some detailed training. And for whatever reason, I don't know how you guys came up or your face came up, but I found you on YouTube and I was like, She's the one. That's it. That's it. She's the
Well,
one.
we are so glad to have
So
you.
I'm
So you
excited.
want to do it full time instead of Uber or in addition to?
Well, in addition to for right now, but my goal is to quit doing Uber. I'm not trying to do that.
Tell me, what state are you in again?
I'm in Ohio. I'm in Cleveland. And
Cleveland. Okay. So
yeah,
what I would recommend for you, because I mean, honestly, I'll have to talk to you for 2 hours and know what you got to do. The process doesn't change. It doesn't matter what state you're in. You already have your commission. You have a little familiarity with the documents and everything. So I would really recommend you joining the program and learn the foundation. If you don't want to join, you don't have to, but you can always do the individual courses or whatever you prefer your teachings. You might just say, hey, I want to just buy one and be done or whatever. But if you really want to do it as a business, I would really say, like the person earlier, I just can't recall who it was right to say, inspire change. Work the program and the program work. Start at the beginning. Let's learn how to properly notarize. Learn about specialty work. Learn about those estate packages. Learn about trust, ink, fingerprinting, and keep adding on different services. Just keep adding on those different services. Because everything I tell you about, I do except remote online notary because my state doesn't permit it, but yours does. So
yeah.
that's even another stream of income you can have. I don't do wedding officiant, but I have a course about it. I know how to do it. That's something else you may want to consider. And one thing leads to another. So you need a good foundation. And that's what we find most people are lacking. So that's what I would recommend for you. What other questions do you have for me while we got you live here?
No other questions. I'll be joining mentorship this week, probably by the weekend, and getting that taken care of, and just joining the community. I want to make sure that I'm not trying to wing it. Something you said last week in one of your lives, you talked about, some things you just can't wing it. And when you're with the client, you lose credibility fast when you are having to come back and look at the document again. And oh wait, I did an estate situation like that because I was doing Uber. One of the clients, she was here and her husband was in the hospital. And she says, oh, you're a notary because my license plate says notary 4. That's
All
my state.
right.
So people always ask while I'm doing Uber, some of them ask something silly like, are you really a notary? No, it's a notary for play. What do you think? Why my plate saying no? No, I'm
I
not.
love it. I love it. What'd you say for play?
No, it's just for play. No, my plate.
Right, right,
Well, my plate says notary.
right, right.
So I got this estate thing. I had to go do some documents, power of attorney, the healthcare directive, blah, blah, blah. And I had never done it before. And something that really should have taken less than an hour, it took me over an hour because everything you said, did you know you needed witnesses? I didn't know any of that stuff, thinking, oh, I'm just going to notarize a few documents. Yeah.
So
It was a very
Nicole,
hard lesson to
I'm
learn.
gonna tell you something. You're gonna really trip out. What took you an hour and a half, and you said should have took an hour? It should have took 15 minutes.
I know, right? After listening to you, did you ask the right questions? All of the things that you said was when she was in the car talking to me about what she needed, I should have asked her, do you already have witnesses? Who are you going to have at the hospital?
Yep.
I didn't know any of those things to ask because I'd never
Mm-hmm.
seen a document, didn't know any of that stuff. And it was
Mm-hmm.
a very difficult lesson to learn because as an instructor, you know this if you're an educator, you don't want to lose your credibility. You
And
know,
by you being an educator, you already know the importance of education. Like you got to know your craft. You
if you
got to
don't
know your
know,
craft.
you shouldn't be in this.
If you don't know what you're doing, you ain't got no business doing business. Now, what kind of educator, before you correct me on all my English over here, now I'm out the Detroit side of town now, back in the, you know what I'm saying? So, what kind of educator?
So I have a master's in education, adult training and development. So I
Oh, for
did,
adults. Okay. Uh-huh.
yep, I did corporate training for various companies. I worked for the cable company. I used to be a corporate trainer for Marriott,
Very
various companies.
nice.
Yep, I used to teach English to Chinese students online during the pandemic through a company
Oh,
called
look
VI.
at you.
So when you mention translation services, they spoke no English and I speak very little Mandarin.
But guess what? Between the apps that you have now and everything, and all you got to do is facilitate it, you know? So that's another service that I really do offer. I did one yesterday or today. So it's so funny, guys. My translation business and my apostille business, my goal in 2022, 23 was to really ace apostilles. I was scared to death of them. And I was like, bump that. It's too much money we leaving on the table. I would get a job and give it to somebody. I was so scared. And I was like, I'm not doing that anymore. So your girl took time to really learn it. I'm still not like my jam is not apostilles, but I know it like where I can get them done. You know what I'm saying? My jam is like everything else. But because it's such a beast master, and I still am always a little bit timid, just being frank. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, I ain't leaving no money on the table. So your girl got one right here for tomorrow.
Okay.
Philippines. This lady called me right before we went on the live, and so she brought the document to me. I did need 2 witnesses on it. It was a power of attorney. Jeffrey was the witness. My sister was the witness. Power of attorney again. And tomorrow I'll take it to our Secretary of State, where our process is. Everybody's a little bit different. I'll take it to our clerk county, and then I will get it back to her. So I'm actually going to deliver it back to her because she paid a nice amount of money. So that's another fee you can add is travel. So I want you to learn the business, Miss Nicole, and you're in Ohio. You never know why you got on this live tonight. Do you do social media?
I do have a page for my business. My business is called Your Notary Geek. And of course, we want to be your number one in Ohio.
I like that. Your Notary Geek. I love it. And that's a nice span because of your teaching and all that. But you don't never know. You might be the next person in Ohio to help bring some people out, teach them. That's what happened with me. You know, your smile, your vibe. I'm feeling it. Yeah. And that smile. So
I mean, it was like, just the fact that you were real talk about, listen, I know you hear about all this money and all, but you can't go out here and not have your thing together. You feel so much more confident when you know your business. And that right there is what made me keep watching. And I was like, yeah.
Oh, well, I am so excited for you. And whenever you decide to join, no pressure, we're going to be here. And we have plenty of people that started out just like you. I'm looking at some of their names now, and I'm like, so proud of them, like a proud mama, because I know where they came from. The notary struggle is real because people want to start making money ASAP, but it just doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. You know, even when you started doing Uber, you know, I'm sure once you kind of learn the app, you kind of learn the game. It's like, okay, let me get here this time of day, that time of day, avoid this area, go do this, go do that. I could teach an Uber course, y'all. But by the time you do all of that, you know, now you're able to make your money because you know the game, right?
Right. For sure.
That's what I want for you in the notary space.
Well, my goal is to get it done. I got a lot to do. I'm working on the website now, and I think I heard you say on another podcast, you were talking about payments and like, why are you not taking certain payments? So I was like, okay, she says Zelle. Let me see if I can set my Zelle up, make sure that's going to my business.
Yeah, really quick. I want to unpack that really quick too, Ms. Nicole, because a lot of people, I'm hearing so many people saying taking Zelle is ghetto, taking Cash App is ghetto. I mean, what is ghetto about getting paid your money? It's legal money. I just don't understand that. I write it all off on my taxes. Not write it off, but I account for every dollar that comes through. So my clients pay me with Zelle. They pay with Cash App. They pay credit, debit, cash. I'll even take a chicken if they want to. Okay. But I mean, I don't understand that. So yes, now's the time to start getting prepared. But before you start buying anything else, I really want you to know what you're buying and why you're buying it. Because some things you may be buying you don't need yet. You know, so let's kind of work the program when you really get ready. Quit buying stuff right now. Let's get you in the program.
Will do. I will be in the program by the weekend.
All right, Ms. Nicole. Well, we look forward to you. And we actually have a live session tomorrow. So if you go ahead and get in there, you might can make tomorrow night.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to do this again. This might be my new weekly thing. I love talking to people live, real time, and let's do it. We can help a lot of people.
Yep. Well worth it.
All right.
See you guys on the other side.
Have a good night. Much success to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys. Jeffrey had to fall off there, looks like. Let's get these last few questions here. Lynette, thank you for joining us. She welcomed Nicole to the community. Glad she found us. She hopes all is working out with her new adventure. And Kimmi and Jeff are awesome. We appreciate that, Lynette. You are so cool. Do you have any Texas students? Girl in grip. Yes, Texas is dominating the group. Okay. Yes, we have Texas. A lot of Texas students. Texas is running the group. Okay. Mentorship would be good. Yeah, check it out. And again, it doesn't matter what state you're in. Let's clarify that too. Everybody can join mentorship because all of your documents are not going to originate in your state. They're going to come from all over the world. Like I said, I'm doing a document tomorrow that's going to the Philippines. So you just need to know how to properly execute the documents. And that's what we teach you to do. Okay. Don't be scared, people, because if you can cancel it whenever you want to. Okay. Now the thing about canceling, if you cancel it, you cancel it when you want to. If I have to cancel it, we're going to cancel it that day. So, because I don't have time to keep going back and playing games. Well, cancel me on the 1st, cancel me on the 15th. No, you join the program at your will. You can leave at your will. We're not trying to keep anybody hostage. Okay. Andrea says, hey, Andrea, in-grip students with Miss Kimmi are all from her different states. Her training is great. I recommend it and learned a lot. Yes, Andrea was a great student. We had our little bumps up in there, but Andrea did well. And now she's doing her thing. I'm happy for you. The mentorship program was not designed for you to stay there for the rest of your life. Now, if you want to hang out with us and it's benefiting you, which we offer live help when you're at the table, making sure your documents are correct before you send them back. So it's a program designed for you to hang out with us as long as you want to. And Grip says she had a commission since 98. Hey, Sharon, right? She's saying, right. Looking forward to seeing Nicole. Lynette's just saying, congrats. We got a lot of Texas people. Thank you so much. I have a lot of fear of talking to people. I have to get out of my own way. Yes, Sharon. Now, that's going to be a big deal. You have to get out of your own way because you have to talk to people in this business. There's no way around it. You have to market your business. You have to talk to your clients. So we're working on that. That's why we do mock trainings in our sessions. We did mock marketing last week, which was amazing. So we do a lot of mock trainings because I know a lot of people are scared. I'm naturally inclined to speak. If you couldn't tell, rah, rah. I'm like, woo, what are we talking about? However, some people are not bent that way, and that's okay. But we're going to help you get through it because if you don't talk, you ain't going to make no money. Welcome back, Jeffrey. We are about to wrap it up. We are telling.
I'm having some computer issues. Yeah.
I see you are. They're saying congratulations to Miss Nicole. She did an excellent job. So really shout out to Nicole. We had a great conversation. So anyway, guys, I'm going to welcome you guys into the Notary Educators space. If you're new with us for the first time, don't forget to think about adding translation services. We do have the Notary Journals, the Notary Mentorship Program, self-paced courses. And we'd love to have you a part of our world. Just as simple as that. So on behalf of Notary Educators, again, I'm Kimmi, and we are here with Jeffrey.
All right, everybody. Good to see y'all this evening.
All right, everybody. Well, have a good night, and thank you all for hanging out with us, okay? See you soon, and much success to you in your business. Bye.
Bye now.